Good evening, and welcome to our breaking coverage. Tensions between the United States and Iran have surged sharply this week, sparking new fears that open conflict could erupt across the Middle East. The immediate flashpoint began with a U.S. military interception in the Arabian Sea, where an American F-35 stealth fighter jet shot down an Iranian Shahed-139 drone that was approaching the aircraft carrier, USS Abraham Lincoln. U.S. Central Command officials described the drone's actions as aggressive and stated that it continued toward the vessel despite repeated warnings, prompting the jet to engage it in self-defense to protect Navy personnel and equipment. This incident occurred roughly 500 miles off Iran's southern coast, in what the U.S. military has emphasized was international waters. No American personnel were harmed, and no damage to U.S. forces or the carrier was reported. The downing of the drone represents one of the most serious military escalations between Tehran and Washington in years. The region has already seen a major U.S. naval buildup, including aircraft carriers and other assets deployed to counter rising threats and secure key shipping routes. Hours after the aerial engagement, American forces also reported confrontations at sea, where Iranian Revolutionary Guard naval units and a drone harassed the U.S.-flagged commercial oil tanker in the strategic Strait of Hormuz, attempting to board the vessel before U.S. escorts intervened. All of this is unfolding against a backdrop of uneasy diplomacy. While U.S. officials insist that efforts continue to restart negotiations with Iran, especially over nuclear and regional security issues, military incidents like these have injected fresh uncertainty into talks scheduled in the coming days. As leaders in Washington and Tehran weigh their next moves, new imagery circulating across social media and defense networks shows a Russian-built Mi-28 Havoc attack helicopter flying over Iran's capital, Tehran. The Mi-28, known by Organização do Tratado do Atlântico Norte as Havoc, is a tandem two-seat attack helicopter designed for all-weather, day-night operations and armed with a 30mm cannon and external munitions. Defense analysts warn that the presence of such helicopters, whether newly delivered or shown in footage, could reflect deeper Russian military support for Iran at a time when the Islamic Republic faces one of the most intense strategic pressures in recent history. The authenticity and context of the footage have not been independently verified by Western military sources, but defense observers note that any expansion of Iran's attack helicopter fleet, especially with advanced Mi-28 variants, would improve Tehran's ground attack capabilities and complicate regional escalation dynamics. Beyond the immediate military hardware on display, broader geopolitical implications are accelerating. Oil prices have already shown volatility in global markets as traders react to the prospect of conflict in the Persian Gulf, where nearly a fifth of the world's seaborne crude passes through the Strait of Hormuz daily. European governments and United Nations envoys have urged restraint from all parties. They emphasize that diplomacy remains the only viable path to de-escalate the situation, especially as both sides publicly express a desire to avoid a full open-ended war. But the sequence of events, from a Shahed drone approach and an F-35 Strike 2 reported Russian helicopters overhead, does raise serious questions about how far the Iran-US relationship might deteriorate. Millions of viewers around the world are now asking, are we on the brink of a Middle Eastern war involving the United States and Iran? Our intelligence and military experts say the risk cannot be dismissed. The region already hosts a complex patchwork of allied militia groups, strategic choke points like Hormuz, and overlapping interests from Russia, China, and Gulf states. A single event, a single miscalculation, could rapidly escalate beyond drones and helicopters into something far larger. For now, U.S. forces remain on heightened alert. Diplomatic channels remain open but tenuous, and global markets, governments, and military planners are watching every move. We will continue to bring you up-to-the-minute analysis as this situation develops. Thank you for joining us this evening.